Justin Gatlin is the latest in a long line of sprint sensations to emerge from the USA.
Gatlin got a good start. Look at this man coming through now. Gatlin. What a fantastic performance from Gatlin. It's all about Gatlin.
Ultimate goal is to be one of the best sprinters in history.
And what a fantastic performance from Gatlin. And look at the time.
It's the American leading the Jamaican at the moment.
He knows he is the world champion.
Justin Gatlin is the world champion here in London.
Hey, what's up, buddy? We back with another episode of Ready, Set, Go. We in the building. Y'all know what time it is, man. And you know who it is. It's the bearded wonder himself. My boy.
Bearded wonder.
Right yes. Over there in the green shirt. Mr. Green.
Green looks good on everybody. Let's make sure we know that. Green looks good on everybody. What's up, bro, man? You know, it's been a while since it's just been you and I, man. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Just chilling for the day. I just finished doing this clinic. You know what I mean? Over in San Antonio, man. Boy, that sun be killing me, dog.
I see y'all at a really good turnout, man. You and Fast U and Hurdle Science.
Yeah, we did. Fast U, Hurdle Science, Fast Prep. We all had them. We had from ages from probably like 6 all the way to 18, man. You know, had a really good turnout of athletes. I'm going to tell you one thing. It is definitely harder to be a coach than it is to be an athlete, especially in the elements. When you standing around, bro, you feel all the heat.
Oh, trust me, I know.
When you standing around and it's cold, you feel all the cold.
I didn't coach at every level, bro. So trust me, I know.
Yeah, so hats off to y'all for that one, boy, because that is, listen, it had me out there I was wobbling, dog. I was dehydrated. My ab caught a cramp. I went to eat afterwards. My whole neck caught a cramp. Like, it was a lot going on, man. I was like, it was very successful because the kids got a lot of good work. You know what I'm saying? They learned a lot. But after that, body was beat up, dog. I was, Sun was different out there in San Antonio.
Shoot, man, but shoot. Shout out to you and the team, man, at Fast U. Anybody looking for coaching out there in the Texas area, Houston area, you have Fast U, Hurdle Science, Fast Prep out there, man. They have all of your sprint needs out there in Texas. Justin is with those guys. So, you know, definitely go and check those guys out, man. They have really great experience, great knowledge. They put a lot of kids in college. From the high school level to the college level. So definitely plugging them up, man. So yeah, y'all go out there and see them.
For sure.
And in other news, man, we have a few things going on in the track world, you know what I mean, that I've heard about, you know, that I definitely want to touch on, man. Want to give our field partners, family, some love, man. I heard that Ryan Crouser is having a throwers league in 2025. What do you think? I think it's a shot put throwers league. What do you think about that?
I love it. You know, just being in track and field for so long and just, you know, being in an event that's the most premier event. You know what I mean? The 100 meters, people want to see that. People want to see who the fastest person is. But why do we not want to see who the strongest person is? You know what I mean? Someone who's out there throwing the shot put, the discus, throwing the javelin, throwing the hammer, like, to me, those are very impressive things. And the preparation for that is a lot of preparation when it comes to strength. I want to see them have their own identity because it's always like track and field or Trinidad and Tobago. You know what I mean? Like, it's always that thing where it's like, where's your identity from the rest? And it's time, man. It's time to be field and track. Let them be field and track, man. That's what it needs to be. Field and track. What you think?
That's a good thing. I think you said something that just clicked in my mind that I definitely want the throwers world to think about. You know what I mean? If they're going to have their own league. I love that Ryan Crouser is bringing out his own league. And Ryan Crouser, you're definitely welcome on to explain that to us. We'd love to talk to you and like go through it and, you know, dissect it so we could educate our fans on what that would look like. But I would like our throwers to think about this. You know how we have the heptathlon, we have the decathlon. What if we have an event where you have 4 of the throws together to see who can throw the farthest in each event, the shot put, the hammer, the javelin, and the discus for points to see who is the winner in those 4 events.
So
What do you think about that?
I like it. It sounds like a throw-a-thon. That's what it really sounds like.
I'll throw-a-thon.
I'll throw-a-thon. Get that, Ryan. Throw-a-thon, baby.
Throw-a-thon. That's definitely a thing. If you guys do it, we want our 10%. I just want to say that we got lawyers. I just want to let y'all know. Anyway, we're gonna keep it rolling.
I want to see Ryan throwing the javelin, like taking himself, big self down that little short runway and just throwing it.
Hey, but definitely, man. I don't know who's the strongest thrower, but I've definitely seen him power clean a whole lot.
Oh yeah, bro. He was over there power cleaning two of me. You know what I mean? I'm sitting at like 225, 215 right now. So he was, I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I seen that man squat like 700, bro. So I need 700. I said, I don't even know. But I definitely think that would bring a new look. And I know we're in the field space of making things look a little different. I think that definitely makes it a little different for the throwers. You know what I mean? We educate them on the Throwers League. Oh, you could probably call us the Throwers League. You know what I mean? And have those 4 events and see, like, you could have people that still specialize in either the throw, the discus, or whatever. But then you have that one athlete, like, who is the strongest throwers across all the throws. And I think that would definitely be interesting.
I like that. I like that idea. It can be almost like a 2-day event, because they can do shot put and javelin on the same day, and then they can go over there and do discus and hammer on the next day.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Because all these leagues are starting, you know what I mean? I think, are we finding a niche market for all the track events, like a jumpers league too? You know what I mean? I don't know if something like that was happening, because I've heard somebody say, a first-time fan, I won't say who they are, they were in Oregon, they were watching the USA trials, the Olympic trials. And they say one of the things that they found very, very disheartening was they were watching the jumps, watching somebody who they were interested in, and then they had to stop the jumps to watch a race. And they thought that was very disturbing. You know, they couldn't understand it. Now, us who came up in track, we understand the nuances in track, which is a very small group of people who understand track. But for the broader environment out there, for the newer fans, they don't understand how it works or why we do everything simultaneously. And he was like, he wouldn't have want that to happen simultaneously, because he was looking at something great. And then he had to look at something else great. So he felt like his attention was everywhere. What do you think about, having all these niches, like of field, separate from track or in a different area? Like, how do we do it, or what can we do to make them more seen?
First of all, you relate to the audience, right? You want to bring people in who understand throws, but then you want to also bring in an audience that not understanding throws too much. And what you do is, like, long jumpers. Why don't you park a school bus next to the long jump pit? And then you can see how far long jumpers can jump compared to the length of a school bus. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be very impressive. So someone who's never really sat and watched track and field, or not a avid track and field fan, like, that would be impressive, because now I can leave that stadium and say, I just watched all these athletes jump longer than what a school bus is, right? Same thing with the shot put of throws. Why don't you get implements that are comparable in size to 18 to 16 pounds, and you're throwing it as far as you can, right? Things that can relate to us as the regular audience who've never seen real shot put. You know, they don't understand, like, oh, it's a big metal ball. Cool, you're throwing it. To us as track fans, it's entertaining. It's exciting. But if you want to gather new audience, you got to find something that they understand and bring it into our world and sport and say, look what we can do. Something truly amazing. So I think that's what we need to do. Create a whole different persona we're doing it for speed when it comes to sprinting. So why can't we do it when it comes to strength and power when it comes to throws? Why can't we do it for explosiveness when it comes to high jump or long jump or triple jump? Like, these things are very impressive, but a lot of people don't realize how impressive it truly is.
Yeah, I definitely think so. For our fans that don't know, I think Justin related it to a school bus. Because if I'm correct, the long jump in the men's is the length of the top of a school bus. That's the long jump world record. It's actually the length of the top of the yellow cheese bus, which is crazy. And I think it's by Mike Powell.
That is by Mike Powell, world record, yeah.
Mike Powell, yeah, world record, man. It is, and then when you think about that, you look when your kids are getting picked up from school. Look at the top of that bus. Somebody jumped the length of the top of that bus.
Yep. Yep. Oh,
So we just,
take away
that's
the
why we
hood.
represent.
Take away the
Yep.
hood and the front wheel of a school bus, and the rest of it is the length that humans can jump. That's crazy to me.
No, human
Human.
one.
Human. The rest of them
Shout out
jump
to
to like
Mike
the
Powell.
door.
Yeah. yes. I definitely like to see that. And I'd like to see comparisons in the triple jump too, man. You know what I mean? I wonder why a lot of the long jumpers and the triple jumpers, they don't do both. Like we've had some athletes medal in both, but we don't have a lot of them that do both. I wonder what stops them, like a lot more of the jumper athletes, from doing both events. You know what I mean? Some could triple jump better than they can long jump, but I'd love somebody to come explain that to us, like why they don't do both. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you run the 100 and the 200, but I guess some guys are specialists too. You know, it sounds like a question that is, I think answers itself, but I would want to know if I long jump, I'd be like, man, I can do the triple jump too. It's just two more jumps.
We got to get a jumper on here to talk about that a little bit. Why is such strong separation from a triple jump to a long jump? You know, I think they just need to create persona, bro. Show them who they are, show their character, but also do something that's outside the ordinary. We're in the era of going viral and doing things that's a little bit different, right? Jumping over a car is gonna make you go viral. There's a lot of people out there who have that kind of hops. We've seen it happen before. That's going to help not only that athlete create more audience and more followers, but also is going to help direct that same kind of like attention to your discipline, because people will be like, man, hold on, this dude doing that, bro? That's crazy. I gotta see him in action in his sport. They all jump like that? That's crazy. All right, let's do that. You know what I mean? Like, that is something I think that's truly needed in our sport now. Like, we go from a traditional era and where it's kind of like everyone sits in the stands, everyone's quiet, everyone's like, yay, like we are tennis, like a tennis audience. When actuality, like, you look at our athletes, they're not posh. They're not reserved. They're young athletes who are primed, ready, and they have a lot of character to them across the board. That's what should be really shown in our sport.
100%. 100%. I 100% agree with you on that take.
You ever did jumps?
I did. Listen, I jumped when I was maybe 13 or 14. I actually was a good long jumper. But as I got faster in my high school in the Bahamas, they stopped me from jumping. I actually jumped 17 feet when I was like 13.
That's good then.
Yeah,
That's not bad at all.
Especially in the Bahamas, because we didn't have like a lot of coaches. It was like road and sand. Like, there was no track. Like, I trained on grass tracks at Freeport Anglican High School, which is Bishop Michael Eldon now. But it's a big grass track. And then like the long jump was like an asphalt road with a wooden board. No, real talk, bro.
Real talk. What was y'all wearing on your feet when y'all jumping though?
Barefoot. Most people,
barefoot.
If you couldn't afford spikes, bro, I raced barefoot. My first pair of spikes was bought for me by a guy named Wayne Smith. I got my first pair of spikes when I was maybe 13, 14 years old.
So anytime before 13 or 14, you was out there competing barefoot?
Barefoot.
Wow.
Yes.
So you would literally come to the meet with shoes on, take the shoes off, and run barefoot.
And it was normal.
Wow.
That was normal. And then when we ran on a grass track. So you would put on spikes, but like the cross-country spikes in them. like the almost 1 inch spikes. Yeah, you would put those in your spikes to race.
So you're digging to the ground.
So you might run at we will call island sports in the Bahamas. You would probably run like 11-1 on grass. But then when you came to like the stage we'd run in Miami sometimes, I think it's called the Alapata Relays at Dade County Sports Complex. And if you ran 11-1 on grass, you would come to the States and you would run like 10-8, 10-9 on the track because the surface is harder and you could get a lot more energy back into the foot. You know what I mean?
Oh, y'all love that,
It was crazy.
Y'all used to love going over there rubbing on the rubber track, huh?
We did, man. I love traveling when I was younger, like coming from the Bahamas to the States to race. You know what I mean? Shoot, it was definitely cool.
That's what's up, man. I jumped back in the day too. Last time I ever long jump was in college, freshman year in college. Jumped 24-11. So I actually really enjoyed the long jumping. It's like I did hurdles, but I just was more gifted in sprints, I guess. So I had to do that.
It seems like once you like find a specialty, like we come from that era that was so boxed. Like it's like, oh, he run fast. Don't pull him from that. Don't let him do that anymore.
Don't be stupid.
You know what I mean?
You have to sprint.
You know what I mean? You ran hurdles, instead of going from, you know what I mean? We've seen Gail Devers go back and forth from the 100 hurdles to the 100. We've seen Terrence Trammell go back and forth from the 110 hurdles back to the 100. Even Omar McLeod. But we don't have a lot of that these days, which made me bring up the whole Jasmine thing. Like, how many hurdlers could actually step out and do it? You know what I mean? And I think the way the schedule works now, like if there's a 200, you can do the hurdles in the 200 and double medal in that. And that could be a thing, like, because the schedule would permit it. It's not super close. You know what I mean? So, shoot, it would have definitely been good for Gail these days because the 100s first, and then the hurdles are like maybe like 3 or 4 days later.
Exactly. Exactly.
So why aren't more people not trying to achieve that kind of a goal?
So
you know what I mean?
I've talked to a couple of female hurdlers who said that they would take it on. They actually want to sprint more. But the thing is, the level of competition is so much higher now than it was when Gail Devers did it, right? You ran 10-8 when Gail Devers was around, you pretty much gonna win the 100 meters. Like 10-8 was a dominant time back then. You ran 10-8 now, you might get third. You might sneak a win depending on where the race is, time of the year. But are these female hurlers trying to really run with female sprinters, or are they just trying to just be in the pack? They trying to really win these races? Or are they trying to be in the pack? That's the real question here, because if you're trying to win, then you got to run 10-6. That's what we at. You got to run 10-6. And if a female hurdler is running 10-6, well, what the hell you do it in the 100 hurdles? Then you got to mean you dropping 12. Oh,
I think I've talked to a few hurdlers too. They think that speed messes up the rhythm.
Oh, it does.
And this is why you could have somebody that runs 10-8 in the hurdles and somebody that runs 12-3 in the hurdles. That person who runs 12-3 can be faster than the person that runs 10-8 because their speed could mess up their rhythm. They could be too fast in between. So they can't find that happy medium. You know what I mean? But Gail did. Gail was running what, 12-3? And 10-8?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
I think Jenny Powell was running 10-9 and 12-4.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be done. I don't think we have enough coaches and athletes that'll explore that right there. And to your point, you said like the 100 is that deep. But I think once I looked at the top 10 times in the hurdles, and I think at number 10 was like 12:41. Which is still fast.
Yeah, bro, that's deep. What are you talking about? It's deep.
It was like 12-2, 12-2, 12-3, 12-3, 12-3, 12-2, 12-3, 12-3, 12-3, and then like 12-4.
Yeah.
Like was number 10, if I could be correct, which is crazy.
And that
12:41.
That time would have probably won most of the championships, past championships that we've had. You know what I'm saying? 12:41. that's still rolling, bro. That's still rolling. So
Still rolling?
yeah.
Man, that is fast.
Yeah.
That ain't rolling. That is fast. Yeah, 41 is fast. Like, I think it's like you said, like we get into that time to where, some of these times that we call out is look like video game time. So it makes some of the times that are like 41, it makes that look slow, but it's really, really fast. You know what I mean? In comparison to what the times before have shown.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree. So another topic we talked about before that has come back up. Your favorite, the shoe wars.
the shoe wars.
That's your baby
I like
right
the
there.
shoes. That's my baby. Need 10%. Listen, somebody, and this person who I can't remember what their handle is, in the comments, the perfect place, he said, or she said, I can't, recall if it was a he or she, to have the shoe wars is the pen relays. Because the world relays now took over the USA versus the world type of thing, like everybody's in that, all the countries are in that, the world relays, the shoe wars, it would be a perfect place for shoe companies to showcase their athletes. And, you're already around the collegiates, you could have your tent set up, you know what I mean, to promote your stuff. But I definitely think I agree with this person when I say pen relays would definitely be the perfect place for the shoe wars to transpire.
I agree with you 100%. I think it'd be a great opportunity because pen relays hold so much nostalgia for a lot of athletes, a lot of people, not just professionally, but high school wise. You have a lot of Jamaican schools and other schools outside of America who come to pen relays to be able to like test themselves against top tier other schools. So that would be a great place to have it, man. I'm sad to see that USA versus the world kind of like died off the way it did, but I think it should be revamped with the shoe wars. Shoe wars, I personally think the shoe war should be unorthodox, right? Like 4x2s, 4x4, maybe a 4x1. But I think it should be.
I think they should do the mixed relay at the pen relays with the shoe wars.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
very unorthodox, almost like an all-star game in a way where everyone is there, they're having a great time. You have think about the whole New Balance. The whole New Balance crew is going to be off the chain, dog. Like you got, even from around the world, you got Sydney, you got Vernon, you got Trayvon, you got Femke. You
got the young boy too, young Quincy.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like across the board, those teams they would come together, they would warm up together, they do their relays together, all New Balance. That would be an amazing team. Same thing with Nike. They have all their teams together. They'll go out there and train. And even if you have like individual races, right? Something that fits into that time frame of that year where it's not really a traditional 100 meters. Let's just say run a 150 or 60 meters outdoor, right? That right there, I think would give everybody opportunity to jump in there and kind of like stretch their legs and run. Like I'll run a 60 meters outdoor. I'll run a 150. Like, let's go,
No, I think to your point, I definitely think pen relay should be the all-star weekend for track and field because it's in April.
Mm-hmm.
It's the end of April, really before, I think the first Diamond League is in May. That really kicks off the professional season. So it's early enough for you to stretch your legs, test your legs out in a 150 or 300 or 1v1 with another shoe company. Great promotion for all shoe companies. You know what I mean? And to definitely stretch your legs out for the shoe companies or the heads of all these shoe companies to talk to the athletes to be like, hey, we want you to run in the mixed relay, or hey, we want to try to run a fast 4x1, 4x2, or even a shuttle hurdle relay the shoe wars. Yeah, you still got a bunch. You got a bunch of Nike athletes. You got a bunch of, for Nike, you got Jasmine, Tane Marshall. You got, what's her name? God, I don't want to mess
Masai?
up. Yeah. Yeah, I got to get that right. I gotta get that. Masai, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And others, you know, for Adidas, you got Toby, you got Akira Nugent, you got
Kenny.
Kenny
Uh-huh.
and Serena Sembayala from France.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like you got Puma. You know what I mean? We can do this to make it an all-star weekend, but it's a win for all, for the athletes, the shoe brands, and everybody. I definitely think that'll be a good idea. All-star weekend for track and field.
And guess what? This is how it can be funded. Each shoe brand, respectively, sponsors an event. It'll be the Nike 4x2. It'll be the Puma shuttle hurdle relays. It'll be the New Balance 4x4. It'll be whatever like that. Now,
the on-run 4x8, if they want to do it. On-run 4x8. So we ain't even missing nobody. You know what I mean?
What we talking about here, y'all? What we doing?
And then the pin relays will still be a relay meet. The meet director need to call us, man. We need to be on that board.
Listen, they need to put us on a bunch of boards because we clearly are making track and field more exciting. I'm going to toot my horn on that one because I would literally go with the pin relays for this because this would be amazing to watch.
I would too. And you could think about it, they could unveil the new spikes, they could unveil the new uniforms at pin relays for the first half of the season because the uniforms change and junk. So they could do the changing of the uniforms or the unveiling at the Shoe Wars. This is our new spike we got coming out. This is our new jersey or new speed suit we got coming out. We adding this, and this, and it's a great deal. But to the question of the champion, who actually has the fastest group of people signed to their shoe brand?
What events we talking about though? That's crazy. Like you got to tell me like what discipline are we talking about?
All of the events. So it'll be a team thing. So you have the 4x1 that score points. You have the 4x2 with a score points, shuttle hurdle relay with a score points, 4x4 with a score points, mixed relay with a score points, and whoever has the most points out of all those shoe companies wins the Shoe Wars. And they get a trophy with a shoe on it saying, we are the fastest company.
So let's theorize here, okay? Let's just say that everyone's involved, they want to do it, right?
Yeah.
Even Sydney, she's saying, I'm gonna do this, right? Sounds cool. Interaction with the kids. You get to go out and do something different. Sydney can do the shuttle hurdles. Sydney can do the 4x2. Sydney can do the 4x4. Sydney can do the 4x1. She could do it all. That's if she wanted to. So you could throw her anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, same thing with Femke. Like, I don't know if Femke could even like do the short hurdles, but I believe that she could if she wanted to really try. You know what I mean? But I can't think of my head two other major New Balance short hurdlers that can be able to go in there. See, so then I'll have to say, okay, maybe they won't be able. I don't see them dominating in that field, but I can see clearly they can dominate in the 4x4. You know what I'm saying? For sure, the 4x2
and the mixed relay.
And the mixed relays.
So at the end of the day, it'll take strategizing from those two companies to win those shoe wars. It'll be entertaining, and it pricks the shoe companies to look for more athletes of who's next to prepare, right? Who doesn't want their shoe brand on the top of the world championship stage? To say you have clout, to say we have assembled the Avengers and won this event. You know what I mean?
Very true.
Who wouldn't want to say that? Especially from a conglomerate company like Nike.
Very true. Very true. Chat, y'all listening, I know y'all are. Give us a list of different athletes from different, sponsors, shoe companies, and tell me what y'all think in a mixed relay for a 4x1 or a 4x4, shuttle hurdles. Let's create like a conversation about this, and let's kind of like keep this continuously going. Because you know what? Next thing you know, 2026.
It could happen.
It could happen. This could be something that could be really happening. So
listen, the 4x4 for Adidas will be fire too, man. You know what I mean? You got Dobson, you got what's his name?
Well, you got everybody.
Quincy.
You talking about 4x4? For what? Hold up.
Yeah, for
Adidas?
Quincy Hall. Yeah, you got Quincy. You got Quincy Dawson from London. You got
Ellis? Is Ellis Adidas? Is she Adidas?
No. For men.
Oh, you talking about men? I thought you meant mixed 4x4. Okay.
No. You could put Noah in there, and then you could put Noah's training partner in there from Trinidad. Jareem Richards. Mm-hmm. Listen, bro. You got 43 low, 43 mid. You got. I'm pretty sure Noah could give a 44 low, and Dobson could give you a 43 high. Listen, that might be that right there. Is a hard beat.
One thing I loved about pin relays is the fact of you could implement it into your training regimen, right? Because clearly it's just they're all just sneaky flying 100s for the 4x1, or you going like getting a good run in the 4x4 or a 4x2. So I feel like that's been lacking in our season. You know, like seeing athletes go out there and just run with just kind of like no real concern. They just having a good time going out there and run. You know, everything is stakes is high now, you know, and not taking anything away from the competition, but where's the fun at? I want to see fun, man. I want to see everybody having a great time.
Yeah.
Like we have a list. Like look at this list right here, right? So 100 meters.
Adidas.
Puma and Adidas, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have 200 meters, New Balance, Nike, right?
Listen, this is male and female, by the way.
Male and female.
Male and female gold medalists. Yes.
For each of these disciplines that we watched for Paris this season. 100 hurdles, Nike. 110 hurdles, Adidas. 400, Adidas. 400 hurdles, New Balance and Nike. 800, Nike.
Nike and Nike.
So that shows you right there, like you can build off a list like this that shows you that they have the most premium athletes for that discipline. And clearly there's more athletes sponsored by these shoe companies that probably can fall in line under these disciplines to go into a 4x2, 4x4, 4x1, mixed. We love the mixed, and we love watching World Relays. That's one of people's favorite events now, watching World Relays, bro, because it's a little different. Like, why we can't have a little different sometimes?
Definitely. And now, once you put something out there like that, you definitely put a battery in the other shoe companies' back because they're going to want some of this fun. Asics, On Running, Under Armour, you know what I mean? They definitely want some of this action.
Facts.
You know what I mean? They're going to be like, shoot, who could we sign to be the next to upset these major shoe brands? They definitely want some of the action. You know, maybe it might revive a shoe company and the biggest track and field world like Mizuno. Like they might want to, double back down and like, let's get back big in track and field.
It might even help those companies out there to extend, you know what I'm saying, what they have. Like we talked to On Run. On Run wants to get into the sprint game. This would be a great opportunity for them to start having certain athletes who are short sprinters and kind of exercising them out there at the shoe wars.
Yeah. What do you think about the shoe companies giving temp contracts? Like they say, if we'll give you a 3-month deal based on your performance, and if you make the team, then we extend your deal into the next 2 or 3 years or something like that. What do you think about those type of contracts?
Hold on, say it again. Hold on.
3-month contract. So if you come out of college and they feel like, kind of like you're not sure, we'll give you a 3-month stipend of, let's say, $7,000 a month. And if you make the team, we'll develop that into maybe a $90,000, $100,000, or $120,000 deal for the next few years if you make the team. But it's like an unsurety contract, like 3 months out from your USA trials or your trials, and say, if you do this, then we'll sign you.
I think it's a great idea because right now you got these athletes, you got a lot of athletes out here who ain't making no money, but they posing like they making money, and they just got kits. They out there just running with kits. Like,
why you gonna do that, boy?
No. What I'm saying is, like, and for the audience, a kit means like your uniform. So you'll see an athlete wearing a Nike, Adidas uniform, and they may not even get paid by that shoe company, but they're giving free advertisement by that shoe company, right? So I feel like at the end of the day, if I wanted to put a billboard up in my city I got to pay for that so people can see it. Why would you still not pay that athlete something to wear your brand? So yes, I think a temp contract will be great, especially for the ones that are on the bubble, right? The ones that just need a little bit more extra love, a little bit of finances in their pocket so they won't be too stressed. And then they may get on that team. Because we see it all the time, especially in America, bro. Look back through, let's just say the 100 meters. Almost every Olympic trials or every nationals, third place is never consistent. It's always somebody different. It's usually that person that their dream is coming true. God, I got third place. Oh my God, I made the team, right? Now, do we see them consistently after the World Championships or the year next? Most likely not. So this temp contract actually would incentivize them to keep working harder and have a little more money in their pocket. So
Yeah,
I agree, bro.
It don't have to be that much. It could be something like maybe $2,000 a month, so you get an allotment of $6,000 until your trials. And if you don't make it, it's done. You get the kit, you get the $2,000, and then after your trials is done, if you don't make it, then yeah, I mean, it would be fully understandable by the athlete and the company to part ways because they'll be like, the deal was for you to make the team, and then this could happen. And if you don't make the team, then
You already know.
you understand.
As soon as you
ain't even got to
As
ask.
soon as you come across that line and you in fourth place and there ain't no buy, you already know what time it is. The contract is voided.
Yeah, I think to your point, that's what I was thinking too about the temp contract. I think they get the free advertisement, but throw these people a little bit of love. At least if you get $2,000, that could cover like maybe rent, that could maybe cover, your supplements or something of that sort. You know what I mean? To make it a little easier on the athlete, because if you're going to invest in these athletes and they end up becoming something like a Fred Curly, you know what I mean? Then you would have won because you would have got them for cheap. You would have got them for cheap.
I agree.
They would have rolled into $100,000 deal a year, and then there are posters everywhere, and people are doing things for them because of who they are. But you, as your shoe company, you would have got they behind for real cheap. You know what I mean? So, but I guess there's more not a lot of those happening, so they don't want to take even a small risk. But yeah, man, y'all roll some more money into this track and field budget shoe company.
And I'm gonna say this, and I'm not taking no shots at agents. The temp contracts, agents should make the standard. They shouldn't make 20% off a temp contract. They should make 5% maybe off a temp contract, because now you're defeating the purpose. The purpose is these athletes, giving them a little kind of depressurizing them, giving them kind of grace to be able to, like you said, pay for their food, pay for the supplements, pay their rent, and not really stress about either going to work or where the next paycheck going to come, or trying to even get into races so they can do all these things. That's right there for them. So now they can train without that stress. And if you're taking money before they even get money, then it's still stressing them.
100%. Y'all let us know in the chat what y'all think about temp contracts. I think 3 months is enough time, right? Everybody's trials is like at the end of July. So that gives them July, June, and May. It's when the season starts.
Mm-hmm.
So you give them, yeah. So May, give them the first allotment of money in May, and then let it last all the way till July. And then if they don't make it, you cut them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody like who I believe we'll see next year, like I hope they take a chance on her, Sears from Tennessee.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Like, bro, she ran 10.77. She got hurt. You know what I mean? A company, I 100% believe if this young lady didn't get hurt, she would win the 100 meters. It didn't happen. But I think that's what would have happened. She was looking so good, so early, you know what I mean, until she got injured. But if I was a shoe company, I think it was a senior year, I would take a chance on her.
I agree.
I hope a shoe company, if I'm not wrong, I hope somebody did take a chance on her and she has a deal as of now. Well, I hope so.
I hope that also that she didn't get, shafted when it comes to like her contract. She ran 10.7. of course, he ran 10.7 one time, but you got athletes out there who are getting paid who never ran 10.7 one time at all. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, I mean, if you're going to go off of that, you got to figure that, okay, she can be able to get it done. It's just now, let's pay her a little bit of money, or a good amount of money to be able to, okay, let's replicate. Get you healthy.
Shoot.
Let's see what you can do.
Shoot, for more insight, man, I would definitely love if somebody or a representative of any shoe company come on and explain to us how you guys think about things like this. Like, what's the rationalization so it could give some of the athletes coming out some type of clarity on how they need to approach or what they need to approach. Please, please come on. Come on in and explain it to us, man. Let us know, man, how y'all think. Hey, if you come on here, boy, listen, hey, we'll let you answer how you want to answer, but we just want, some clarity so people understand. Our sport is very murky. Like, you can't see a lot of things. It's a lot of blurred lines, and we just want some understanding. You know what I mean?
I'm going to text that dude right now.
Hey, boy, you're going to get that man in trouble.
I'm not going to get him in trouble. Just give him clarity, man. Give me some clarity. The audience needs clarity. We need the audience to understand what is at stake for these athletes. You know what I mean? Like, we ain't trying to, you don't got to put numbers out there. You ain't got to make it messy. But the fact is, I guarantee you most of the people that's listening and most people who aren't listening, they don't know the construction of track and field contracts. They don't realize that kind of stuff. And that's kind of stuff that we need to educate our audience on, because it's educated in the NBA, it's educated in NFL. Like, we know what's going on there. Like, we know what's guaranteed and what's not guaranteed. We know almost nothing about track and field. And when you operate in that space, it's a dangerous space to operate in, because we as fans and other audience, we thinking that every of these athletes are damn near millionaires. You know what I mean? And these athletes, some of these athletes are out there fighting for a contract, fighting to get paid. And and always hearing it from the athlete, we should hear it from something of the source. Like, this is the reason why we pay the way we pay. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. And I think the audience will respect that too.
Yes, we want to hear that, and we want to hear a risk to reward. Why? What will make you take an athlete rather than to say, nah, we're not going to take a chance on that athlete? So, and just not Llewellyn, everybody, from any other shoe company, Henry Rowe, Spencer, you know what I mean? All you guys, you know what I mean? From the respective shoe companies, you guys are invited. Ben from ASICS, hey, you guys are invited on to talk about it. You know what I mean? Let us know. You know what I mean? We know it's a closed market, but we just want to hear a little bit. You could be vague with it, but we just want to hear a little bit of clarity.
For real. To be continued. We'll tell y'all what's going on that part. But we're going to move on to, since we're at the close of our season, right? We got one more event to go. We're going to talk about it in a few minutes. Before we get there, let's talk about who we think our MVPs are and why they're their MVPs, and also clutch, okay. The clutch athletes of the year.
Male and female.
Male and female, of course. So who you have for MVP on the male side?
Everybody know who my MVP is, man. Leslie Tuboho is my MVP for the Olympics, man, of this year. He came in and, 300-meter world record, 1, 2, 3 national records, a gold medal in the 200. Yeah, man, he gets my MVP for the year. Yeah, not just for the 200. He ran a world record this year.
Yeah.
That boy, he PB'd in every event he ran. 400, 200, 1, 2, 3, and 400. He PB'd in all events. And I guarantee if he did a 1v1 in the 150, his behind would have ran the fastest 150 of his life. So he definitely, for male, he gets my MVP. And MVP for the year.
It's definitely hard to disagree with you on that one, bro. Like, definitely hard to, because the numbers are there, bro. He started the season off with a 300-meter world record, right? Then he backdoored it with the world's fastest time at that point in time in the 400 with a 44.2. Like I don't even know what month that was. That was something ridiculous, like December or something like crazy. And then he dropped a hot 200 not too long after that, right? And then running 9.8, coming back and running 19.4, and getting the gold medal. He had a really MVP-ish season for sure, you know?
Trying to tell you.
Definitely. If definitely we're gonna put honorable mentions out there, I had to get my honorable mention. Actually, would go to Noah. I can't discredit the fact that
Clutch for me would go to Noah.
Okay.
Not MVP.
Okay.
Reason being is because he had a solid year, but it wasn't as great as a Leslie Taboho. It wasn't as great as Taboho. But he would get my clutch award. Matter of fact, it's a fight between him and Quincy in the 400 for the clutch award.
100%. I listen. 110%. Why? Because I sit there and say, on the clutch aspect, Noah was not favored for the 100 meters. And he stepped up to the plate and he challenged everybody in the world and went out there and won the 100 meters. Very clutch. It's a very hard race to win, especially under those pressures where a lot of people are doubting you. And even on paper, you were not the fastest on paper. You know what I mean? Like that has to play an effect in your mind, your psyche, and your preparation that you were not the fastest on paper. And when you watched the fastest person on paper run the fastest time of a 9.77 and slowing down well before the finish line, you knew he had something left in the tank. And you still showed up to the line and gave it your all. And you all got the job done, bro. That's very clutch for me. 100%.
Yeah.
But Quincy, that's a tough one, bro. That's good.
Yeah. Quincy, listen, boy, that boy was out there running from the police.
I remember watching him, bro. We sat in the stands at the 170 meter mark. I looked at him and said, damn, my boy out this race. My boy out of this race. And then all of a sudden he just hit some kind of gear I've never seen in my life, dog. The popo gear. That's what we're going to call it, because that's what he was running from, the popo gear.
Listen, boy. Listen, that's the definition of grit right there. You
Yeah.
hear me? That's the definition of grit right there. That's a definition of you have the word relentless. His face should be right next to it. He did not relent. No matter what place he was looking at the 320 mark, he worked and worked and worked and all the way to the line, man. So yeah, but it's close between them two. Only because, you know what I mean, Noah wasn't favored, so it's hard for me not to give the clutch award to Noah, but he wasn't favored either. But I don't know who was favored in the 400 to win. Well, yeah.
I would say Matthew Hudson was favored.
He was favored. Yeah, he was favored
Let's not take away the fact of Quincy did run a 43.80 before the Olympics came around.
Yeah, so they both had the number 1 and number 2 time in the world.
He was.
Yeah, so it was a closer battle. So based on that, you know, it's a toss-up between him and Matthew. But that's why I would give it to Noah. I would give the clutch award to Noah.
I got you.
Based on that.
All right. So we move over to the women. MVP.
MVP. And this is how I give my MVPs is based on how they impact the sport, you know, what they've done in the sport and the numbers, right? So my MVP would definitely go to Sydney. Only because she got the world record. She walked away with 2 golds, you know what I mean? And almost a world record in that 4x4. So, and I just definitely think it would be Sydney. Outside of Sydney, honorable mention would probably be Gabby Thomas with the 3 golds. You know?
Yeah.
That'll be the honorable mention for me.
Yeah. I don't know, bro. I feel like you read my mind a little bit for sure.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, man. It's hard to not consider Sydney for the MVP, right? Because of what she's already done, what the level of that she's doing it at too. You know what I mean? It's a totally different level, almost to a point where it's hard for you to have 100% respect for her because you can't even fathom how insanely difficult it is what she's doing. She's damn near every time stepping on the track, and she's threatening her own world record that she has broke 6 or 7 times. You know what I mean? Like she's running
100%.
away with the event, and that's hard to bet against as to be nominated as the MVP, right? And win the MVP. But same thing with Gabby. Gabby stepped to the plate, and you can watch Gabby set her campaign up for the season at like clockwork. You know, we watched her at Texas Relays run the 200 and the 100. Then we watched her at World Relays run the 4x1 and the 4x4, like literally like run the 4x4, leave the track, go back to the warm-up area, come back out with the 4x4 team, go run the 4x4, and she has 2 World Relay medals on at the same time with American flag, all with under 40 minutes, right? So that's very impressive to start the season off with. And then going out there having a really good season, and then everything she set up fell right into place when it came to the Olympics, right? Going out there, winning the Olympics, but also 4x1, 4x4, come away with 3 gold medals, right? So definitely honorable mention in that fact. Clutch. Who you got clutch-wise?
Masai. It's my clutch award. Because Masai, man, she put that.
Look at that boy. He didn't say the name right, boy. Hey, Masai, say it again. Say it again.
Masai. Yeah. Masai, man, she pulled that thing out. You know what I mean? She was favored, but not the favorite. You know what I mean? But she was favored. And shoot, right time, right place, right. You know what I mean? She pulled it out. That's who my female clutch award would definitely go to. And it was close. It wasn't like, it was very close between her, Jasmine, and Serena. You know what I mean? It was definitely a very close race. I feel like if you run that race over, we could see something else. Like if you run it again, like if they called it back and ran it again, you could definitely see a different winner probably in 3 different variations. You know what I mean? But in her variation, she won. So she definitely gets my clutch award.
I like your clutch. I like your pick. I like your clutch pick. My clutch pick is Julian Alford.
Okay.
She handled business in the 100 meters. And she turned around and handled business at the Diamond League finals as well. You know? And also she did what she needed to do in the 200. You could tell she was taxed and tired. She still got the job done. I like the way she handled all her races. She did an amazing job. And it's so much pressure when you stand on that line, especially for the 100 meters, especially in her situation, the environment she was in. A lot of people would probably have not even said that was her race to win, you know? So to watch her go out there and dominate that field and come away with the victory, very clutch, I believe so. So that's my clutch right there.
Shoot. I think we did a really good job, man. When these go out, you know, no disrespect to the other athletes, you know, these are just opinions on what we think. You know what I mean? So we just definitely want to put that out there. So next for us, man, we'll be at the last event of the year, Athlos. We don't know. Listen, I've not been excited for many of the meets we go to, but I'm excited for this one because I have zero expectations of what's going to happen. I've read about it and seeing how they're going to put it on, but it's definitely the first of its kind. You know what I mean? Will it change the platform of what track and field is today if it's successful? We don't know, but we'll be there to see it all.
Listen, man, I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm not saying I'm there. I'm just saying I don't know what to expect. I have zero expectations. You know what I mean? It was like, I've never been to Coachella. I read that it's going to be a Coachella style kind of thing. I was like, okay, I've seen Coachella on YouTube and seen how that is. So I'm definitely trying to look to see how this will play out, you know? So I don't know.
It's if they say it's going to be a Coachella vibe, yeah, it's going to be kind of lit though. I think we're gonna have a good time. Just spectating how it's gonna go. They said we're not gonna even like Icon Stadium is not gonna be recognizable. How do you have a whole stadium not be recognizable? That to me, that's gonna blow my mind. I got to see how this gonna work.
They're gonna have that thing dressed up like Halloween Horror Nights at Universal.
Which I hate, which is such a scam, bro. Such a scam. I went one time, I'll never go again, dog. You walk through those haunted houses, they got workers, not even dressed in costume. They got workers inside the haunted house that going like this. Keep it moving this way. You're literally in a single file line walking through a haunted house. Like, that's not scary at all, dog. Like, I'm walking behind somebody. 3 people in front of me are getting scared by somebody. I can see them getting scared. And then you trying to scare me? I just saw what you did, bro.
Listen, my kids love it, man. They damn near go every year.
Such a waste of money, bro. Like, you at least break up the flow of it. Like, let 5 people go in, hold them back, reset. Let 5 people go, hold them back, reset. The experience would be amazing that way.
Well, we definitely gonna see, man. We definitely gonna see what this stadium gonna look like. So, like I said, I have zero expectations because it's new. So I'm not expecting anything.
I am excited for the fact of what it really stands for. It's empowering the women, especially of our sport. Women, I feel like women in sports don't get a fair shake when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to the wow factor. And to be honest, I feel track and field women lead the charge in that, because we're really one of the true sports that kind of create an even playing field to where a woman can be able to take the reins and hold the excitement of all of track and field. People will come into stadiums to watch, you know what I'm saying, women run sprints, women run distance, and they can hold that flagship. We've seen it done through history all the time.
Oh, no.
You know, so
100%.
I think it's time for them to be able to have their own event, their own meet, and see what it looks like, because I think it can transform track and field to different perspectives and different kind of meets that we could have.
Definitely, to your point, man, of holding their own. Shoot, I remember during the Olympics, during the female 100 meters, Adele stopped her whole concert to put the 100-meter female final on the screen for a whole concert to watch. It was crazy.
Did you see how many people were in the stadium to watch?
I saw it.
Not the Olympic finals, but Adele's concert. Did you see how many people were at Adele's concert? They probably never seen track and field in their life. But everyone that was there to watch Adele, when she put it on, the whole crowd was silent. They all watched.
Yep. Adele, shout out to Adele.
Shout out to Adele.
Shout out to Adele. Adele, if you want to sing for us or talk to us, you can come too.
I love me some Adele songs, dog.
I love Hello.
Hello.
It's me. Hey, listen, I didn't even know she loved track and field like that, but for her to do that, she has to love track and field. I wonder how much of our celebrities, musicians, love track and field. Since we're going to be at the Athlos meet, I think I may be wrong that Meg Thee Stallion ran track and field before. She's going to be the headliner.
She should have. I mean, she's so athletically built. Look at her, dog.
I'm trying to tell you.
She probably out there ran a couple 400s, a couple 200s.
I heard, like, for some of the celebrities that actually did run track and field, I heard Ashanti used to run track and field.
Oh, yeah? That's
what I heard.
Was she good, though?
I don't know, but let me tell you, if I bucked her,
usually the cute ones aren't usually the fast ones like in high school.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Because all our girls cute now, boy. Don't play.
Now they are. 100%. Listen, 100% they are now.
You know which hairdo was running fast? If them girls had that little shortcut, the little shortcut with the shave in the back, all them girls was fast.
Or the slick down. The slick down, boy, back in the day.
They were fast.
The slick down would be the fastest girl, and she would fight you after the meet. Y'all know what we're talking about.
Y'all know, listen, boy. Once I seen them girls with that little short dude, I said, oh yeah, boy, she gonna win today.
Listen, we loving it, dog. I don't know how makeup is different now than it was back then, but loving the women with the eyelashes, they putting the makeup on, they having their hair done, they're looking presentable. Now, back in the day, it was like
that boy said presentable.
No, I'm saying, listen, you remember back in the day, it was like they had the persona of like, I'm coming to run, I'm coming to like fight,
kill you,
to do damage. That was like their mentality, you know? But now you see that the world's watching you, right? You see not only the world spectator-wise, but companies are watching you, right? So now the lashes, the makeup, you know, the hair, the nails, those things can be parts of where you're going to get sponsored by. Companies are going to sponsor you because you're wearing it and you are one of the top fittest female athletes in the world. That is cha-ching if I don't know what cha-ching is. That's marketable, you know?
Speaking of that, we've seen Rashidat from Ireland with Rihanna in Sabas Venti.
No, you're saying it wrong. You're saying it totally wrong. We seeing Rihanna with Rashidat.
Hey. Ooh, yes. Hey, yes.
Because if you watch the video,
yes,
Rihanna steps back and looks at she looks at her and says, I follow you already. And Rashidat says, yes, you do. That's big time.
That's almost like the Noah line. Like when Noah was like, he looked up at the scoreboard, he's like, I don't know who got it. And then his name came up and he's like, I'm amazing.
You saw how I lip sync to what you were saying? I'm amazing.
Listen, if Adidas don't put that in the commercial, listen, boy, listen, you got to capitalize on these moments, man.
Listen.
These are iconic moments that you got to capture from the athletes of your brand, man, and carry them out. You put me on a marketing board, I'm using that. Listen, that's going to be at the butt of every Noah thing, icon. I'm amazing. That's going to be everywhere.
Hashtag I'm amazing. Billboard Times Square. I've never seen an athlete go from very humble to where he was the first one to congratulate his opponent. And then he went from humble to him. That's how we going to dub it. He went from humble to him. He went from, congratulations, Keyshawn. I'm amazing. Like, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Crazy.
That's why he got the Clutch Award.
Who does that? The Clutch Award. Only Noah. Only Noah, bro. Only Noah. Only Noah, man, for sure.
Gotta love it, man. He's very entertaining. Whether you love him or hate him, he's very, very, very entertaining.
Facts.
Shoot. We got anything else on the docket, big bro?
Man, you know what? I got one mailbag that I wanted to talk about, which kind of sparked this question I've been thinking in my head. And the mailbag was, we see that a lot of athletes have made a big jump in their followers since the Olympics. Would you say that's because of their athleticism, or would you say that's because of their persona? So my question was, to add on to that, I want to kind of talk about that like a two-part. Do you go out and if it's athleticism, you know, or persona, what do you promote? And how do you promote it? You know what I mean? Because now you have a lot of athletes like Fred and Noah and these guys, like they're in the mills now. Like they got 1.5, 2 million followers. And I guarantee you probably like 80% of their followers don't know none of these guys' PRs in track and field. It's the fact that they're relative. You know what I'm saying? They're right now, people see who they are. They follow them. They see them on their search, on their pages, on social media. And then now they're following them, see exactly what they do. They're almost more excited to see, you know, what they're wearing, what shoes they got on, where they at that point in time, compared to what their PR is or what's their best race. So are we looking at track and field wrong? Should we really look at the character persona of athletes and kind of like really take a step back and give them the opportunity to show who they are outside of track and field and say, hey, you like who I am as a personality, but this is what I also can do. Because we're usually doing it the other way around. What's your thoughts?
I think it's a mixture of a bunch of things. This is the first Olympics since COVID, one. So I think everybody was interested in it. You see, when we was out there in Paris, the who's who was out there in Paris. Everybody was out there for that Olympics, I think it's a mixture of that. I think it is a mixture of persona and relatability. So the people who you name, like Fred, and others, they've shown adversity and they've shown a little bit of a Cinderella story, right? So you have where they were down and then they climb back up to the top. You know what I mean? You had Sydney, who was hurt in the World Championship year. She didn't compete, and now she come back and break a world record in the Olympics. You have Fred, who was going through it with ASICs, you know what I mean? And him getting his junk together to him medaling, making the team and medaling at the Olympics. So I think it's, you have Noah, who's sparked the interest of his relatability of, with the yogi cards and the yogi community and
Yu-Gi-Oh!
everything
You
like
gotta
that.
say it right, bro.
Hey,
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Hey, listen, I'm not a part of that
Say
community.
Yogi.
That's why
Yogi's
you're
a
here.
bear.
Listen, hey man, hey, you like that type of stuff. Hey,
I do.
I'm just
I
trying
watched
to
it when I was a
make it.
kid.
Hey, listen, I did it. So, so I think the relatability of how people can relate and then them they're inspiring type of people. Fred is like Project World Record. Watch, like sit back and watch. You know what I mean? Facing adversity. You know what I mean? These type of things that these people go through, people relate to it. And I think it's just a bunch of those type of things together that kind of make the whole persona like. So it's a bunch of things. I don't think it's just one or two things. But I definitely think some are stronger than others, like being inspirational. You have to be inspirational. You just can't be gimmicky. Even Noah went from claiming he was getting 3 gold medals back in 2019 to actually getting them in 2022, right? So it showed he failed in 2021 to get all 3, right? And then he comes back in 2022 at World Championships and he gets 3 golds. So it shows adversity, the rise, Cinderella story, the self-confidence, and then him doing the whole gimmicky things, him, Arian being the guy, him doing the little posterized thing with the finger. That's entertainment, him entertaining, you know what I mean? So I just think it's a bunch of things that.
So you're saying it's a mixture. It's a mixture of being relatable, but also being unique enough to have a talent that the rest of the world really can't do.
Yeah, what are you going to do to capture a moment? Everybody, in 08, Bolt did the whole flailing arms thing. That picture is cemented in time when he ran the world record in 2008 Beijing Olympics. That is cemented. How many people watched that? Like it was crazy. Like, you know what I mean? That right there and who he is and who he believes he can be, his persona of him believing in himself and saying he can, even when challenged, made him great. You know what I mean? You didn't have a lot of personality when you were running, but people love your focus, your intentional, your grit, your relentlessness to want to beat the greatest. You know what I mean? You didn't talk as much. And probably you should have did. You would have a lot more money today. But people love you now. I mean, I guess in your interviews, you wasn't, it just, you had to be so guarded. And I get it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But like now, you know what I mean? You can see why, like, what you project outside of the track and field world matters now. It definitely matters of who you are, what you stand for, how you inspire, what you do. It definitely matters now.
I appreciate that, man. I think at one point in time, I felt like my opinions, my voice wasn't going to be heard and didn't matter. You know what I mean? Yeah. And understandable. Right now, especially people like you, bro, appreciate it. You have pushed me to say it does, especially now. Speak on what you know. You have a wealth of knowledge. You know a lot of things that other people don't know. And it's time to be able to be the person that can speak on certain things. And this is where we at now, today. So appreciate it, man. Appreciate you,
Listen.
audience, as well.
Listen, you got to appreciate the audience. If I had a dime every time I read a comment that said, I don't even know why I didn't like Justin Gatlin. But I love this guy now. You know, it's so crazy. Like, everybody is like, why did I hate this guy again? I don't even know why. I love this guy. You know what I mean? So it just to show that what people think they see is not really what it is. Sometimes you have to put on that facade, you know, to kind of get through what you had to go through. You know what I mean? But now people get to see your personality and see who you really is, and it's a beautiful thing.
Facts. Well, I mean, that's all we got right now, man. So with that being said, we have another one in the bag. So we'll see y'all next time. And if y'all in New York City in about a week, I'll let us. Because
man.
we're going to hit another episode. But this one's done.
So to all our listeners and fans, please join us on our next episode or episodes to come in our off season of Ready, Set, Go!